Hey, it's SNOWPEA. Welcome back to our Counterbuilding series. In this video, we will be studying how the top teams are building, in particular, how they adjust their builds when they face a team with high magic damage. So the game we are watching currently is a replay of Game 4 of the AIC Semifinals match between two of the top teams in the world. On the blue side is HKA, the champions from the Taiwan server. And then on the red side, we have V Gaming, who entering this game is on a 22 game win streak. Let's start by examining the build of the Wonderwoman mid. She starts with Gilded Greaves and builds a small Pierce item, and then she immediately builds two small magic defense items in response to one leaning against a Raz in the mid lane, plus two, the enemy team has a Tulen jungle, so two strong mages, AP damage dealers on the enemy team. Now let's take a look at the build of the Skud. Skud is laning against Lubu, so he's going to start his build with an armor boot and knight's plate. But before completing his first big physical defense item, he's going to also start building some magic defense as well here. Watch Raz and Tulen's positioning on the mini-map here. They're going to try and camp out Keera's blue. The Skud comes to help, but he is not going to be able to survive the magic damage of the two mages. HK is going to try and take the blue here, but Riktor arrives in time with the ultimate, and Riktor ultimately walks away with Keera's blue. Let's take a look at the two teams' mid-game build. Skud finished Medallion of Troy, the big magic defense item, before finishing his physical defense item. Wonderwoman, after building those two small magic defense items, built anti-heal. That makes sense as the enemy team has a Lubu and a Maloch, both two heroes with strong healing abilities. And the Riktor support built magic defense after finishing his boot and support item. Now let's take a look at the build for HKA. The Lubu built two small magic defense items after building his first two damage items, as he is laning against a Skud which primarily deals magic damage, and the enemy team has a Keera jungle. The Maloch support built the small knight's place first, but now he is also starting to build some magic defense before finishing his physical defense item in response to the two AP damage dealers on Lee Gaming. The Lubu is going to start building attack items again after those two small magic defense items. Those two small magic defense items are really great bang for their cost. Each of the small magic defense items cost only 240 gold, and they grant the purchaser 90 magic defense. So for 480 gold, they're effectively purchasing 180 magic defense. In comparison, Medallion of Troy costs over 2,300 gold and only provide 200 base magic defense. Of course, it comes with other stats too and magic defense scaling in the late game, but for an early game, the two small magic defense item is really great bang for your buck, and we'll see these players will complete their magic defense item into Troy later in the game. I think at this point, HKA wants to take both the Slayer and the Abyssal Dragon, as the enemy jungler is still reviving and they only have two players here, so it'll be difficult for them to contest. As I discussed in my prior video, there is now a temporary debuff whenever a team defeats either the Slayer or Abyssal Dragon, making it difficult to take the other one afterwards. So the workaround is for a team to attack both concurrently before the debuff kicks in, as HKA has done here. We're now in the late game, and V Gaming's 5 team members have stacked some pretty significant magic defense in response to the double mage on HKA. With a man down on V Gaming's team, HKA is going to try and take the Slayer. They got vision of Skud in the bot lane, so they feel pretty safe about taking the Slayer. And I think V Gaming recognizes with a 4v5, it's going to be hard for them to contest the Slayer, so instead, Skud cut the minion wave bot to take that outer bot tower and apply some wave pressure in the bot lane. Lubu goes to immediately clean up the minion wave in the bot lane, while Tulen is in the top lane cleaning up that minion wave. Now watch how the HKA team members manage the minion waves here. They intentionally do not attack the mid wave and instead are just hanging out mid to protect the Slayer and to give their teammates enough time to clean up and push out the side lane's minion wave as well. And as a result of the pressure that Lubu applied, the 4 members of HKA were able to push down the mid wave while the V Gaming was forced to retreat and defend the bot minion wave. I think a lot of times regular players like to just clear the first minion wave that they see, and they don't think too much about managing the minion waves to allow the minion wave on the other lane and the Slayer to come into the core concurrently. I think HKA does a decent job of showing us the proper way to manage the minion wave and to make the most use of the Dark Slayer in this last team fight here. Let's take one final look at the final builds here. Skud finished the game with 2.5 magic defense items. Keera, Wonderwoman, Capheny, and Riktor all had magic defense as well. In response to the high magic defense on the opposing team, both Tulen and Raz have built the Staff of Null to give them extra magic penetration, and Tulen also had the penetration boots. You can also see that both Lubu and Maloch completed their magic defense items later in the game, and Maloch actually started building a second magic defense item.